Tapped by Gidley. And Mason runs the ball towards the Queensland line, ending 5 metres away. Gidley for Kite, and Kite upended and driven into the ground, speared down. Back for Gidley again, then for Mullen. Along for Anasta. Back it goes for a one-handed take by Minicello, and Minicello is 8 metres away from the line. Third tackle gone. Back it comes for Anasta to use White. And White 3 metres out on tackle 4. Played for Gidley. Gidley to Anasta. Anasta, Mullen. Mullen floats it. Mason. Well, did his hands touch the ground? Yes, he did. That's a penalty. Tackle made on Mason. Ball touches ground.
That's desperation. The big man looks up wryly at the referee, but he probably knows that he erred there in trying to force that pass. Some promising football. He knew if he could get it away, there was a chance. Well, the ball never actually touches the ground. His left hand touches the ground. Rabbits, you've got the rule book.
No, that, as far as I'm concerned, the referee's made a mistake because the arm carrying the ball and the ball did not touch the ground.
100%.
But having seen it like we did a few seconds ago, I thought that referee Simpkins had it right.
I'd just like to check with you before I make sure.
I reckon the right hand touched the ground.
Okay, well, we'll get back to this now. Price with the ball. 3 metres into Blues territory. He's had a wow of a game against Stephen Price. He's given tremendous service to Queensland down through the times. He's the oldest player out there tonight, leading by example. Here he is again. Price spinning around and draining them, as I said, draining the energy out of the defenders. Cameron Smith. Then for Thurston, shot for field goal. Up it goes good. I think it's there. Yes, it is there. Thurston puts another point on the board. 25 AD with 11 to go now.
It was on the cards. You were just wondering whether Queensland would maybe go for a killer blow of 6. But Jonathan Thurston believes that the opposition do not have 2 scores in them in the final 10.
Well, that's what we talked about before the game. When it came down to the back end of the game, you knew Thurston and Lockyer would be there. Would the young New South Wales players be there with them? And New South Wales have just lost touch, probably from about 5 minutes into the second half, and the youngsters just don't know how to get their game together again.
Greg Inglis then. 15 metres out from his line. Nate Miles is back with us on the 20-metre line. You've heard it all before, but the team has won. Origin 1 has got a superb record of going on to win the series.
I can tell you after 105 hours, Queensland have now taken the front by 1 point.
As we point out, 18 from 25 times the team have won it. Goes on to win the series. That's the first game, but it hasn't happened the last 2 years. As Jared Hayne comes centre field, straightens into Thurston. Can't beat Berrigan. Thurston comes back.
Picked up by Matt King. He tries to find a gap up the middle. It would seem that that is exactly what Queensland would want New South Wales to do. It looks like a compressed defence, but it's compressed probably through exhaustion. And maybe the expansive game is the one that's required. From Mullen, it finds Anasta, who fends away and is tackled 40 metres out. 5th tackle now. They come back to Mullen, and the kick from Mullen is fielded by Brent Tate. Andrew sideline.
Yeah, big news here for New South Wales. After that field goal was kicked, Kurt Gidley straight off the field popped his left shoulder. So terrible news for Kurt Gidley on debut. By the way, the big call against Willie Mason becomes a huge moment in this match. It's the first time we've had more than 10 penalties in an Origin game in half a dozen years.
So here's Lockyer, who always seems to play, I beg your pardon, Stephen Bell. But back on Lockyer, he always seems, doesn't he, to play a major part. He puts his name in the history books via the scoreboard so many times. And again tonight he's done the same. Johnson, 8 metres short of halfway. They've got 8 minutes to go and a 7-point deficit for New South Wales. Jared Hayne.
That's smart. Jonathan Thurston kicked that football into open space, into the in-goal area, and then sprinted to lead the kick chase down. Came up with the shoulder charge. It's infectious. At this stage of the game, to find that kind of energy, your teammates love it and they'll respond.
Anasta rounded up by Justin Hodges. Cooper on the 30-metre line. Mason. Two of the little men making the tackle on him, Berrigan and Smith, as Mullen sends it down the ground. But it zeroes in on Carmichael Hunt.
Did he pretend to do a hamstring then? If so, it was the greatest decoy I've ever seen. He pretended to do a hamstring, then charged into them, as though they'd let him off.
Variation of the old goose step, wasn't it, Rose?
I think your imagination is...
I saw Terry Lamb do this once and went straight through. He runs. Oh, and then he goes again.
I think he was jumping a bindi patch.
Here's Price for Thurston. Thurston inside the 30-metre line. Blue tablet for Gus immediately. Now it's come from Lockyer, gone on to Miles.
He stopped. He pretended he had a hamstring injury.
You stay with the story, it sounds fantastic. Could be a bestseller. Now Carroll, then Lockyer. Left foot across for Bell. Marked by Minicello. And an easy carry back to the 20-metre line.
Well, what do you think he was doing?
I think he was just putting on a new step.
He's one of those soccer players taking penalties. That's what they do these days. New South Wales need to come up with something in this set of 6. They need to score twice to get in front in this game. And they are rapidly running out of time. Somehow they have got to get sets back to back, and it's got to happen at the end of this one.
Bailey played it, Badeiras gave it, Simpson running with it, or struggling with it, to the halfway line. Incidentally, that pass from Jamie Lyon was allowed to go, and it looked like a replica of a pass for Mason that was penalised. The ball goes out from Mullen on the bounce for Hayne, and every time Jared Hayne gets the ball, they are like bees to a honeypot. Carroll leading. Now for Nasta. And Hayne, beautiful pickup from an ordinary pass on the 40-metre line. Queensland's end. Carroll working very hard now in defence. And that's the charge down. Stephen Price, the charge down king. He's got the ball. He's tackled on the 40-metre line. New South Wales into the ground by Badeiras.
Well, generally, I'm not a big fan of the charge down. So often it goes against the man who's come up with it, but not on that occasion. It might well be the match winner. Short ball to Hodges.
So it's played. Smith away for Thurston. The kick for Bell. The race is on. Minicello has saved them again. We'll take a break, back in a moment. So 7 points in it with under 5 to go. Origin 1. Almost there, safely for Queensland. Almost there. With 4.5 to go. Coming back to our live coverage in just a moment with Price. And as you come back, 4.25 minutes to go in Origin 1, the Harvey Norman series. Off to a thunderous start here at Suncorp in front of a capacity crowd. And another astonishing comeback by Queensland, lost by Nate Miles. And that will be a knock-on. Scrum packed quickly by the Blues.
And as soon as New South Wales have got into trouble in this second half, they've gone far too wide too often with the ball. That's why the Queenslanders are jamming up tight in defence. They're daring New South Wales to try and go around them, where New South Wales' game plan in the first half was working perfectly, working around the play the ball area. They got right away from that in the second half, played far too an expansive game plan, and that suits Queensland no end. They've got all the speed in the world out wide to chase you down.
This crowd figure is up near 52,500. It's up near a ground record crowd, I fancy. And the Blues with Cooper just inside the 40. Medeiros, Kite, and Kite taken down. 25-18 with just over 3 to go. Medeiros, gallant run by the captain Mullin for Minicello, and Minicello close to the sideline but finding the grass in time under the tackle of Inglis. Then for Anasta, a raking kick to onside players but marked out there by Brent Tate. Slowly up, spun away by Lockyer to Hodges, swerves around one, around a second, and then it's Ryan who goes across to meet him in cover. Lockyer for Carroll, just outside the 40-metre line. Queensland's record here at Suncorp is very, very good, and it looks like it's going to continue that way.
They just need one good kick at the end of this set of 6 and it's over. 2:10 left on the clock. One good kick puts New South Wales out of the game.
Thurston,
it's a beauty.
Plugging it down into the corner, it's stopping. The Blues are able to keep it in the field of play, but they will work it out of the corner, and that's the easiest place for Queensland to defend. Minicello running into a wall of them, up and in. Medeiros for Lyon. Bell makes the tackle with Berrigan. Play back to King, running across towards Simpson. They're 25 metres out from their own line with 1.5 minutes to go in the game. 7 points in favour of Queensland, who trail by 12 at the half-time break. They've come back with 19 unanswered points. The kick down the ground. Hunt in his own in goal. Able to get it back magnificently. He's had a wonderful game. In fact, both number ones have had inspirational games for their team. Thurston, 3/4 of a minute to go. Play by Inglis. 2 tries tonight for the Melbourne Storm utility back. The head goes down from Nathan Hindmarsh. Sivanasiva brings it out to the 20. The crowd, they were taken out of the game at half-time, but they're back in full voice now. They know that Origin 1 belongs to them on the end of another mammoth comeback. There'll be no more, I would not imagine. It would all seem senseless. The full-time score, Queensland 25, New South Wales 18.